One, we're live with Ricardo Gottschalk. Ricardo is a vice president and co-founder at Conta Simples. Conta Simples is a Y Combinator summer 2020 company. Ricardo is a Latitude Fellow, and he's simplifying corporate expense management. Conta has grown to a pretty decent size in the last couple of years. So around 40 million in funding, and now with a bunch of employees. So Ricardo, I'm glad to have you on. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself and about what you've grown there?
Yeah, of course. Charles, thank you for inviting me to this podcast. Um, I'm a former mechanical engineer. However, I have never worked as an engineer. I started my career on sales, so I was a Oracle sales rep. And since there, I just fell in love with selling. I understood that selling is kind of like the best way to understand customers' problems and solve them. So I just fell in love with it and never uh, moved away from it. So my whole career has been based on talking to customers, interacting with them, and building solutions around it.
Right.
So
And as a last, as an ex Oracle, what have you learned from Larry Ellison?
I think that he's an extremely huge visionary. Like what he built on like years and years ago, it's kind of like crazy, and the vision that he has is just tremendous. So I really think I understood or I learned like the deep desire to build huge stuff. That's what I think.
Right. I think he's quite a ruthless businessman, right? Like for him, business is war, and it is, like it's really fight or flight.
Yeah.
This business game, and there's really no place for weakness in this jungle. So you started this company in 2018, right? So that was a long time ago. How has it grown since then?
Yeah, since 2018, just to give you, nowadays, in a yearly basis, we run more than $5 billion dollars in corporate transactions. So we started actually from zero. Our MVP was launched in August 19, and since like it will be like 6 years operating, and we grown from zero to more than $5 billion dollars in TPV yearly, and it's just awesome because right now we have like almost 300 employees. We grew from zero to $5 billion dollars in car TPV. We have more than 30,000 customers. Just give you an example, we have more than 70 million dollars in funding, and like our Series B was $40 million in on the beginning of 2024. And the good thing is that we have also been elected as one of the most innovative fintech companies from by the CB Insights last year. So this shows like how we're growing and the amount of value that we've been delivering to our customers on when we talk about the spend management software and solution and finance that we give them.
And that 5 billion that you get per year, do you get like 1% of that, or is it a specific partnership that you have with banks?
No, we're the financial system. So we offer the banking system. Like when you use Conta Simples, when a customer use Conta Simples, we issue their corporate cards. He can do wires with us, pay slips, receive money, and many of them use us just like their corporate account. Yeah, that's our
Right. So
website.
what's your business model? Like what do you take a percentage of these transactions? Is it a SaaS model? Like how do you make your money?
Um, we get a percentage on the corporate card transactions. That's called interchange. We have many other revenue streams. So we have also interest, floating. We have membership also for a specific cohort of customers. So we have different revenue streams over there.
Very cool. So the annual revenue to have 300 employees, is it around like 50 to 100 million right now?
Sorry, this number we cannot share, but
It's a simple question.
it's true.
50 to 100 million, yes or no?
Sorry, I cannot say. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I would guess a fair estimate personally, but no, it's been pretty stratospheric growth that you've gone through. Like from talking to you right now, you would mostly attribute that to your sales skills, to constantly listening to your customers and going after new accounts.
Yeah, and not only new accounts, but new accounts, new um, use cases. So in general, we see a lot of companies, for example, when we see spend management software or spend management companies like Ramp or Brex. Here in Brazil, we saw companies using corporate cards just to pay kind of like ads or paying cloud or paying SaaS. But one thing that we like to do is to look at the customers and understand their processes and look for places to improve their efficiency. So we are also working with credit solutions. We also have like customers that use us to buy how can I say, other stuff, not only the regular things that you buy with card, but also other stuff. So, and new use cases, specifically with credit. So we're very happy to do it because um, there are different cases that help us a lot to grow and to be more partners with the customers. Like the level of relationship that we ended up getting with them increases every time we discover something new and develop new solutions.
And is your goal to literally become, yeah, the bank of the future? Because like the big old legacy banks in Brazil that are
Mhm.
multi-billion-dollar companies in revenue, right? Like you're up and coming, but on a daily basis, you're just seeing that these folks do not really care about their customers. They just care about their investors, right? And they deploy so slowly, right? That like just becoming an online company is costing most of them nowadays. So, what's your vision with that company?
We see that our vision, we will be the main solution on spend management. The Conta Simples will be the main spend management solution for Brazil, for Brazilian companies, because here, even though corporate cards are an important way that companies pay for their stuff, there are other payment rails that are also very important and that are important for us, and that we see that we have a huge opportunity to insert them on our management software, increasing the efficiency that we already give to the customers on the corporate side, on the corporate card, but also on these other revenue or these payment rails. Just give you an example, Brazilian Central Bank created the instant payment solution that's called Pix. It has gone like crazy in Brazil. It grew a lot. It's kind of like the main payment rail here. Um, and this is an opportunity that we have, that we already offer it to our customers, but we can still improve the way we do it, how we do it, and the use cases that we do. So we will be the main corporate card or the main spend management solution in Brazil.
And I think you recently got into credit. Like, what was your decision to get in there, and how do you manage that side of the business?
Nice. The decision was very clear for us because we knew that to keep on growing a lot, it was necessary to give this mechanism to the customers because it's important for them, it's important for us. We help customers to leverage their operation with credit, so we decided to do it. And when we decided, and this was something that we didn't um, decide to do from out of the blue. We decided it was a main pillar of our value proposition. So we hired like credit director that has something like 35 years of experience in managing credit. And we brought him to the company, and he developed it with a great team, of course, our credit engine, and this is 100% internal. So we have a lot of how can I say availability to move, improve, change, and catch the trends of what we need and what we see on the operation. So we have the 100% of the origination is done by ourselves, the underwriting, the how we manage the base, and also the collection. So this help us to understand the full cycle of the credit and keep improving our processes internally.
Very cool. And the sales side nowadays, what kind of business are you approaching, and what does your GTM
Mhm.
motion looks like?
Okay, we're approaching companies that have at least 30 employees, but of course, we have some startups that have like less people, but they have great potential. So in general, we say that have people like companies with at least 30 people, 30 to 50 people and up. And our sales motion here, we have basically three main channels. The first is outbound. We are really strong on outbound sales. That's something we learned with a couple of American friends that teach us how to do it. We are also working really strong on inbound sales. And the third one is our self-service channel that we have a lot of marketing initiatives to bring customers. So this is our main three channels.
Right. And right now, when customer becomes yours, I don't think they churn, right? Because you're literally the only solution in Brazil doing that.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, your churn must be pretty low as well, because I do think
Mhm.
you're pretty much the only company in Brazil doing that at the moment.
Yeah, and something that's really interesting is that we see that we have churn on small companies because they tend to kind of like close their doors more frequently than big customers, right? And when we look at our churn uh, by the size of customers, like our churn on big customers, kind of like it tends to almost zero. So this is very interesting.
Right. And how did you go through COVID? Did you see that impact your company pretty heavily?
Mhm. Uh, COVID was kind of like propulsor. It helped the company because um, COVID made everyone go online, and one of the main ways to sell online is through ads, right? It's doing ads, and this was something that we really helped companies doing. So it ended up helping us because there was a major shift from companies going online, selling online, spending with ads, buying more software. That helped us. It was kind of like a positive motion for us at that time. I think
Tell me
you're on
about
mute.
your yeah, tell me about your main goals for this year. Like what do you want to accomplish?
Mhm. This year we have a very aggressive goal to keep on growing the company. So it's kind of like multiplying the company by almost two times on growth, and also on the number of customers also. And we really want to change the way we are not only positioned, but we want to keep on strengthening our how can I say our brand. So we have a very important project going on with branding uh, to make our position even stronger on that side. So keep on growing company, the revenue, number of customers, and also making our brand stronger. Everything aligned with the value proposition that we are giving to the customers, especially on our product.
Right. And tell me, as a CEO nowadays, like when you face a challenging situation, right? how do you frame your mindset to deal with those? Like, how do you react when shit hits the fan?
Well, when shit hits the fan, like the first thing I believe we have to do, it's kind of like um, understand what are the problem that we are facing, what's the problem that we are actually facing, what's the consequence of that problem, and what we have to do, what we have to get done to solve it. Like um, it's kind of like hard, but sometimes emotions might come and everything like this, but you have to keep cool, like calm down, because if you get like too emotional or nervous or anxious about it, just you're not gonna solve it. So this is what I think, what I believe. And something that's really important for me is that I also have it's to have a great team, and not only the team that reports directly to you, but also your peers and your partners. So we're in three co-founders. When you have to take a pretty huge or difficult decision, we always talk, we share, and this is very important for me. Like sharing it with the people that will have important inputs for you.
Right. And what does a day in your life look like?
Well, the first thing that I do, I wake up in general between 5 and 5:30 a.m. And it's not to because like I'm not on the 5 a.m. club. It's just because it's the time when I wake up, I get a shower, and then my daughter wakes up. So I spend from 6:30 up to 8 a.m. with her, 8:30 a.m. Then I come to the office and I start my day always looking at all the numbers of the company. So I look at all the numbers that I have, and then I go to the meetings that I need to go. In general, like on Monday, it's numbers and how can I say it, and results, and go and like WBR. Like we look at all the KPIs of the company, especially through on the revenue side, and then I go to the meetings. Like so the morning starts with numbers, then analysis, meetings, uh, lunch break, and then it depends, and then also like meetings and time to work on something. I try to organize myself basically on Sunday night or Monday morning. It depends on what happens, if I'm traveling or doing something with my family. But this is the time when I like to organize myself to the week.
Right. And you have more than 200 employees nowadays. Like, what are your criteria to recruit superstars?
That's very interesting. The first thing is that you have to. The first thing in general, we have two things that you look at. The first thing is technical skills, and the second is people skills. Um, it depends on the level that you're recruiting, of course. You also have leadership skills that you might be looking for. Um, I also I always like to look and especially to this leadership skills and also culture fit or values, because this is something that you cannot teach. You might teach someone how to sell, how to code something, but you cannot teach them to care about customers. You cannot teach them to be hunger about delivering results. You cannot teach someone to be proactive. So it depends on, of course, on the job that you're recruiting. I like to split into these three main categories, and then I analyze specific stuff to each one of them. But the thing that I believe that are more important are the leadership skills and people skills.
And how do you leverage AI nowadays in your tech stack?
That's a good question. Right now, we have two ways of looking at AI here at Conta Simples. The first is on our processes. So we have AI on the sales team, the pre-sales team, on the SDR side, on the LDR team. We have AI on customer support, on customer onboarding, and other areas on the customer journey process, like say like this. And we also have a lot of AI on our credit model because we acquire a lot of customers every month, and the data that we have help us a lot to keep on increasing our credit model. And also on tech. On tech, like we have people working with AI, with the how can I say the copilots, everything like this. I'm not the guy on tech, okay, but something that we are working a lot is to bring AI into our product. So we have already launched a new feature at Conta Simples that our customers can ask specific questions to an agent inside of our product to understand how are their finances. So um, you can like compare month over month, year over year, and stuff like this. And we're increasing and making it better. So this is something that I'm really excited about because customers just love it.
Very cool. Well, Ricardo, thank you for being on today. Where can people find out more about you in the company?
Nice. Also, thank you so much, Charles, for the invite. People can find Conta Simples at our website. It's contasimples.com. Also on our LinkedIn. So if you go and look for Conta Simples, you'll be able to find it over there. And I'm also on LinkedIn. You can just like tap my name over there and you'll find me.
So that was Ricardo and Charles